All right, what's going on? So check it out. I've been checking out a couple of videos on YouTube and watching the media and just living in LA. Some of the things that I've seen. So right now, it's no surprise that America and the elite powers to be of white supremacy are attacking, Latinos, Indigenous Americans, Puerto Ricans, and things like that. Now, one of the things I'm going to make clear is, I don't, celebrate anyone's plight. Pain sucks for anyone, but sometimes pain is a wake-up call for people. Now, there is... right now, Puerto Rico has been devastated by that hurricane. And Donald Trump and the elitists of America basically just told Puerto Rico, fuck off. Even though Puerto Rico is an American territory, fuck off, handle your own business. As well as told, Latinos and indigenous Native Americans in America, hey, get the fuck out of America. You're here illegally. This is our country. Now, basically what is boiling down to is this, in terms of now that, you have the Latinos that are going through this, they should kind of understand or have at least an idea of what blacks have been saying all the time. Whereas, historically, Latinos and blacks, I know out on the West Coast, typically don't, intermingle or get along. There's rivalry and shit like that between them. But for many times, blacks have tried to align themselves and make alliances with the Latinos, which, the Latinos basically, said, no, fuck you, which is fine. You know what I mean? Typically out here, like in LA, like Mexicans and shit, they align themselves with whites. Even in the prison systems, they protect the whites, the same whites that shit on them. They say for money, I guess they get paid and shit like that. But, either way it goes, they run with the whites. If there's a riot in the prisons against the blacks, everybody, they'll all team up and go against the blacks. But right now, the whites have just basically told you guys, fuck off. And hold your own nuts is what everybody's saying, this new saying. But in terms of, black Americans and shit, it's just like at this point now that, what we've been warning them and telling them about all this time is finally settling in. Do we now try and rekindle the alliance and say, okay, look, we told you, all right, let's get together. Some of us will, some of us won't. That choice is up to you. But in reality, my opinion, my standpoint is, black Americans, you guys, we need to just keep doing our own thing and keep pushing. They'll get it. I think they got it this time. Hopefully they got it this time. We'll see. But at this point, we really don't have the time, to keep trying to, be social justice warriors for everyone. We need to do some social justice for ourselves. And right now is the best time for us to do this, considering that, the white supremacy is failing and is failing miserably. So unfortunately to my Puerto Rican and Mexican and Latino friends, you know what I mean? Me, myself personally, I ain't got no problem, helping those that I know that have been down with me from day one. You know what I mean? In terms of going out doing shit in the street, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. But my friends personally that I know, sure, whatever I could do, I'll do to help them. But that's just how I've always been any fucking way. So... but I noticed, like, now, this is the stupid thing, right? The stupid thing is that, now blacks and Puerto Ricans and the Mexicans and shit, they're having these fights on YouTube about, who did what, we don't need you, and that. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's a waste of fucking time. You know what I mean? To be sitting back fighting, but nonetheless, they're fighting. In a situation where both nations and people should actually be trying to use this shit to their advantage to get ahead. To get ahead. But, they ain't gonna do it. But this is the wake-up call for the Latinos, the Mexicans, the Salvadorians, Ecuadorians, Puerto Ricans. You know what I mean? Even the Asians have gotten a couple of wake-up calls and shit, but they got a lot of money, you know what I mean? So they're not really, they haven't been affected yet, per se. You start fucking with that money, then they're going to then they're going to start tripping out and shit. You know what I mean? And in terms of Chinese and shit and certain Asian cultures, I know the ones that are above the tropics of Cancer, the ones that aren't in the Sun Belt, man, when shit goes bad for them, they typically start committing suicide and shit. Which is fucked up. But anyway, so for the Latinos and the Puerto Ricans and all you guys that are going through this right now, that are now seeing the face of white supremacy, who probably at one time sided with white supremacy for economic benefits and things like that, I hope now that you see and understand that you're dealing with a minority of people on the earth, white elitist people, who we are typically peoples of colors or the majority, but now hopefully now you're beginning to see that you can be used as a pawn. You have been used as a pawn. The Asians, you have been used as a pawn. A buffer against, blacks. Typically the one group of people that the white elites and white supremacists fear the most, based off of not us being black, but our genetic capabilities, how we can reproduce and produce black children with anyone's of the earth that walks. Our genetic dominance is why they'll put you as a buffer between us in many cases, to give you certain benefits, and so that they can say, see, look, we're not racist, look at them, they making it, the Asians have made it, you know what I mean, the Puerto Ricans have made it, but you're used as a buffer, right? Not to say that you can't make it on your own. I'm just saying that in this system, the way that it's set up, that's typically what you're used for against us. So, and some of you guys understand and know that. I'm not saying stop eating. I'm saying use that bastard if it works for you. Just understand that you're being used as a tool. And now with everything that's going on, America has showed you what it really thinks about you. Just think what happens once the population of the white elitists, white supremacists continue by 2050. They're going to be at a total minority status in America. So my warning now goes out to the Asians, and particularly Chinese and them like that are coming up, especially everything that's going on with Kim Jong over there and shit. How long do you think it's going to take if we get it cracking over there that you guys will be looked at as potential enemies of the nation, right? Your tool status then becomes evident at that point of how they really feel about you and what you're being used for. So, like I say, I really don't care if the dark races or the colored peoples of the earth unite. That's not really, I don't give a fuck. I only give a fuck about my wife, my kids, you know what I mean, and people in my flock, and my wife's family that are, you know what I mean. That's what I'm looking out for, So, but I wonder if you guys get it now, and this is only the beginning. So wake up. This is the wake up call, and it's up to you what you're gonna do with it. If you're going to understand and see this truth. So it's fucked up what's going on in Puerto Rico. But once again, the Puerto Ricans, many of them, especially the lightest of lighter ones, have always aligned themselves with the white power structure. Some of the black Puerto Ricans over there typically know what I'm talking about. Some of the tanner ones kind of get it, from what I say. But as a whole, culturally, Puerto Ricans have had their culture. And typically it has aspired to, shun its blackness or its African roots. So, and that's their choice. That's fine. That's really not, that really doesn't matter to me. But now you guys are beginning to see, and it's fucked up, but, here's one right here. Remember, if you guys remember that tsunami that fucked off Indonesia, the United States had aid there in 24 hours. Why over there so fast, so quick? Is what you should be asking. Where here is Puerto Rico, which is a U.S. territory. You don't need a passport to travel from Puerto Rico to the United States. But why isn't the United States helping you as fast as they help those people in Indonesia? Reality check. It's your boy. Do what you got to do to survive. You know what I mean? I know you guys are strong. This ain't the first rodeo for y'all. But know now that there's a percentage of African Americans and Black Americans that are pretty much waking up from the social justice, the Martin Luther King type mentality, and are now going for a do for self mentality, like all you guys have always done. I think a lot of us have become tired of being social justice warriors, and we're going to sit this one out. As they say, it's kind of funny. They say, hold your own nuts. You guys can make it. Anyway, it's your boy. I'm out. Peace.